Hi, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Straight up, Jessica, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Nice message. Jessica's watching on YouTube. I love your artwork. Didn't know I would even draw it until I started watching you. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm all about kind of busting myths and proving to people that it's quite easy to draw. Um, so yeah, I'm glad it's helping you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. At some stage, if I've not seen them already, share some of your artwork with me. I love seeing what other people are drawing, especially if it's based on my kind of artwork or some of my tutorials and things like that. So yeah, please share it around. Any social, just tag me in it, and I'll be able to find it. What am I doing today? So the plan is today. Just making sure the comment down the bottom is still relevant. I think it is. Yeah, I'll be all right. Plan is today, I thought I'd just do another live. So normally, is it Wednesday? On a Wednesday at this time, I'd be doing Doodle on Discord with Joff. But I figured what I'd do this time is I'm just going to jump online. We're taking a break from Doodle on Discord. Probably doing a little bit of a rebrand as well. But we'll bring it back next week. But yeah, I just thought, I've got a bit of free time. I'll get on and do some drawing. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to draw today, but I will do something in a bit. But what I thought I'd do is I'd start off with Art Gecko, who I get all my sketchbooks from, the majority of my sketchbooks from. Have this thing at the moment where it's about fear of the first page, and it's about like not being scared of that first page and whatever you're going to put on there. And it's got loads of like tips and tricks for how to just get on with it and just start drawing on page one of a new sketchbook. So I thought what I'd do is I'd show you through. I've got a bunch of sketchbooks, but I'm just going to show you page one of each sketchbook. Okay, so don't worry, it won't take too long to whip through them, and then we can have a little talk about which pages look any good, which are rubbish, because some are rubbish. So yeah, that's it. Just thank you very much for everybody who's joined in the live so far already. Really appreciate it. So I'm broadcasting on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it as well. The only thing I will say is if you're watching on Instagram, you're only going to get this little bit, that bit. If you're watching on the other platforms, you're going to get them much wider. You're going to see all the bits on the side as well. So it might be worth watching on other platforms. Totally up to you. But yeah, on the Green Designs, thank you very much for joining on Instagram. Adam's in. Hi, Adam. Australia for you. Is it morning? That's not a bad time. It must be about 7 o'clock for you guys. Thank you very much for joining anyway. I'm going to do some early morning sessions for you Australian guys. So I've got a few Australian members in the Corp Academy community. So I think a nice early session for me would be like a nighttime session for you, or a later, session for you. So that's the plan. I'm going to see if I can do that over the next couple of days. On the Green Design says, my 1-year-old son loves your drawings and has done all your 15-minute tutorials. I'm assuming that's not a 1. That's a Q that you've pressed there. What's that then? 11? Your 11-year-old son? That sounds a bit more. Oh yeah. Next comment. Just read the next comment. Cool. 11-year-old son has done them all. Anybody who wants to get started, best place to get started, go over to my YouTube channel, look for the 15-minute drawing tutorials, or the 15-minute doodle challenge, I think it's called. There's 15 of them, and they're dead easy. You don't need a pencil, just a Sharpie and a fine liner, and away you go. And it only takes 15 minutes, so it's nice and quick. Unless you do all 15, then it takes a little bit longer. But yeah, perfect place to start. Thank you very much for bringing that one up. Mika's in. Hi, Mika. Good. Especially good to see you too. But yeah, thanks for joining. Good to read from you. Beardo, this is already way better than watching Jerome Powell take questions. I don't know who Jerome Powell is. You might have to explain that one to me. Unless it's politics. I don't do politics. I try to avoid that. But yeah, maybe explain who Jerome Powell is before I comment further. And Adam says, yeah, it is 7. Yeah, I'm getting good. I'm getting good at like knowing what time it is in different parts of the world. Ever since Corp Academy kind of went like properly global, it's been on my mind about what times to do workshops and things like that. Yeah, do me a favour, if you are watching, if you're in and watching, you're into doodling, you're into drawing, I'm going to do something that will be hopefully you can participate in as well. Grab some Posca pens, and we'll see if we can draw something nice and simple with Posca pens. And but yeah, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first page of every sketchbook. Oh yeah, the other thing as well, wherever you're watching from, do me a favour. Just if you see a thumb or you see a heart, just tap on it. That always kind of helps the algorithm, helps share what I'm doing. Likewise, actually physically sharing what I'm doing. Click the little paper airplane or the share buttons, whatever they are. But yeah, that kind of stuff really helps the algorithm, really helps me get in front of loads of other people, and helps them kind of learn to draw as well. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Here we go. So yeah, just underneath me, down here is the X feed if you're watching me on Corp Dogs, I think. So if you want to comment and you want to see your comment down here below, then you'll probably just need to get into go onto X, Twitter, and comment through Corp Dogs, and then I'll see you there. Hey Tash, Tash is in. Hi Tash. I'm assuming that's Tash from the community. Good morning, if it is, because I've got another Aussie there. And yeah, so like I said, first thing I'm going to do, just going to go through page 1 of every single one of my sketchbooks. I've got a ton of sketchbooks there, some big fat ones, and we've got some smaller, thinner ones here to go through. Put them in that order. Yeah, let's have a little look, shall we? So here's sketchbook number 1. Oops. Excuse me while I just accidentally press the wrong buttons on everything. Why Twitter is so far behind? It's like 4. It's still kind of going through the countdown, or is it? Oh no, it's working. Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to close a few bits down. Do me a favour, if wherever you're from, let me know where you're from. I love knowing where people are from, whether you're in UK based or what other part of the world you're in. Always appreciate that. Here's the Beardo. Here's the chair of the Federal Reserve in the US. Oh my god. They were announcing if they were going to cut rates in the US. That's why things went a bit funny in the crypto and other markets today. Ah, I see. Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm more interested in that. Tash sure is up early for you again. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you getting up early, Tash. And Mika's in as well. Hi, Mika. Mika's from my community as well. I appreciate you joining in. We're going to spend like 5 more minutes. Just going to quickly go through the first page for all my sketchbooks. So here's my first sketchbook. This was kind of a bit more of an experimental sketchbook. So I just did loads of little doodles. Just individual little tiny things. This is very similar to like the 365 days of doodling challenge we're doing in the Corp Academy community. So it's just about those little tiny things. So like the little plaster in there is probably my favourite. But it just kind of works because nothing's complicated. Every single one of those is simple. Because it's a page filler, it looks quite nice. So yeah, not a bad start. I should probably rate them out of 10 on which is your favourite or which is your least favourite. This is my sketchbook of worms. Again, our gecko sketchbook it is. Most of these are. And let's see, first page. That's a nice crispy worm. So these are cork worms, which is what I draw for a living. It originally started off as being my fingers, so I just drew around my fingers, put little faces on them. As time went by, they kind of changed shape a little bit, grew feathers, eyes, stripes, things like that. But that's all done in Posca pen. Nice finish. Spent a bit of time on that one, so that's not a bad one. Who have we got? Jessica says, good evening from Canada. Good to have you in from Canada. Mika's from Belgium. I think I knew that. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica, for explaining that it's from, not F40. F40 dot Canada. What? Makes no sense. Here we go. Another sketchbook with my doodle with corp branding. Look at that. How cool is that? Metallic branding. First page is... I'd give that like a 2 out of 10. Pretty basic drawing, that one. So not all your first drawing doesn't have to be great. Sometimes it's quite good for it to be a bit crap. This sketchbook I got from Art Gecko, and I think they made it especially for me. I don't think you can buy this one, so it's a bit of a one-off. But I asked them if we can have like a freestyle type sketchbook, but with brown paper instead of white paper. This is what they sent. And so yeah, I did some worms on the front of it. And obviously haven't done anything else with it since, because I don't have time to draw. Let's have a look at this one. This is probably one of my few non-Art Gecko sketchbooks. This is what I use for alcohol markers, and we've got a corp dog in there on the first page. And again, that's all right. It's a nice one. Nearly done. Another Art Gecko book. Another worm. Love the feathers and the rainbow colours in there. Hila's from Spain. Hi, Hila. Thank you for joining in. Little Rose. Hi, guys. Sis. What is that? I don't know what that means. But yeah, let me know where you're from. What part of the world you're from. That's my first question for you all. Another one with my branding on. There's the first page. Now, this one was quite a nice one because I did the original drawing. It was just this top bit, just this green bit. None of the pink or the blue was in there. Just that green bit, that bit. And then I did a remix session. That's the great thing with Posca paints is once you've done a drawing, you can then go and add to that drawing and kind of go over bits, make it look like they were always meant to be there. So like these pink bits went over the green, and it's like you know you can't see the green underneath. I quite like that one. I'd give that one about 7 out of 10. Yeah, silent thanks. Hello, mate. Yeah, I don't get time to draw. Nowhere near enough time. This year, my New Year's resolution this year is to try and secure Fridays for me to do whatever drawing I want to do. So last Friday I finished off that one. I'll show you on here actually. Last Friday I finished off that one. That's my kind of drawing. Just a little bit on cardboard. What else have we got? And that one as well. I'll just show you one more of these. And that one, they all got finished off last Friday. So I'm trying to secure myself a little bit more time. But the reality is I'm just too busy. I blame Joff, really. Joff just keeps me busy. Joff's the co-founder of Corp Dogs. He's always getting me doing stuff. Adam. Posca on brown paper always looks really, really cool. That's why I want them to do. That's why I want Art Gecko to do a brown paper sketchbook. I just think it would look magic. I've got like behind me in the studio. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. Behind me in the studio, I've got like big boxes of cardboard. So anytime I find like cardboard, I'm just chopping it up into little pieces, chucking it in this big box. I've got like a never-ending stream of bits of cardboard just because I love the way Posca looks on cardboard. This one was from a drawing tutorial, and it was the original artwork was by an artist called Jetpacks and Roller Skates, who's like one of my favourite artists. So what I do in the Corp Academy is I will teach people how to draw like other artists, and that was one of those occasions. What I really like about that was just like 2 pens. That's all you need. 2 pens. Little Rose from Sweden. Not Sweden, Switzerland. Just saw the first 2 letters and got carried away. Sorry about that. Thank you for joining from Switzerland. Cranky Dog. What a great name. Cranky Dog from Wellington, New Zealand. Again, I've got quite a few members in New Zealand as well. I don't know what it is about you guys down there. But thanks for joining, Cranky. Cranky's on Instagram. Pokolo Art from Finland. Thank you for joining. And Tash, I found one that is pretty good. Adam. Oh, okay, you're chatting with Adam. That's fine. Let's do the last one of the big sketchbooks. Page 1 is the Ghost. This has probably been one of my most popular reels over the last few months. Everyone was liking that. Not an original concept. Loads of people have done a cactus with a sheet over the top. This is just my version of it. All right, okay, let's get on to some smaller sketchbooks. We've got some smaller ones here. Last 3, and then we'll do some drawing. So this is an Art Gecko kind of A5 landscape sketchbook. Just because, right, what I really wanted to do is I wanted to have a sketchbook that kind of fit the ratio of the feed, if you know what I mean. So I can kind of zoom all the way in, and it's just like a nice, just fits the area nicely. Whereas, you know, if I'm drawing this way around, you always get all this like. First of all, you have to zoom out more, but then you get all this like space on the other side. Anyway, I'm over explaining. First page, let's have a look at first page on this one. That's not bad. Bit lopsided, but it looks okay. Really like the eye on that one. Again, all of these, silent thanks. You know what I was saying about I don't have time to draw? All of these, the drawings that I do are all like Corp Academy bits. So they're all kind of like tutorials and stuff like that. Did I just see where you were from as well? I've got to scroll back a bit here. Denise Joanna, good afternoon from Brazil. Good afternoon, Denise. Thank you for joining. Jessica, I've watched drawing pretty much every video on Insta. Excellent. My Boga from Sweden. Hello, mate. Thank you for joining. Catherine Awana from Austria. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry. Who's that? Julian can't go to bed now. Julian, get some Sharpies or some pens out. We're going to do some drawing in a second. You know, if you're staying up late and you're going to do a bit of drawing, that's not the end of the world, is it? What else have we got? Resist Him. Hi from St. Pete. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. Yeah, silent thanks from the US. Adam, yeah. Wendy. Hi, Wendy. From Norfolk in the UK. Lovely part of the country. I would love to retire to Norfolk. I mean, I'm only in Lincolnshire, so it wouldn't be far. But I'd love to move over that way. What is it? Norfolk coast. Beautiful. Anyway, another sketchbook. Page 1. Bit drab, that one. I mean, it's okay, but probably not one of my favourites. There's going to be other pictures in there. They're going to be much better, but not one of my favourites. But I really wanted to show you this last one as well, because the first page, when I first got this sketchbook, the first page for it, I was going to create do a reel for Art Gecko, just to say thank you for sending me this this sketchbook. I think I was one of the first to get the A5 freestyle. And it didn't quite go to plan, and that's kind of what it came out like. I did the shape, so this green shape, I did that, and it weren't the right shape. And I'll show you the drawing it's meant to be in a minute. Now the good thing about Posca is that you can kind of draw over it, so I could have got rid of that if I wanted, just by putting, just drawing something over the top of it or changing the shape a little bit. But my youngest did that cute little face on there, and I thought, yeah, no, why not? Let's just keep it as it is. So yeah, don't worry. I consider myself a professional I consider myself a full-time artist, as professional as you can be, as somebody who colours in for a living. And yeah, that's the standard of some of my first pages. So don't worry if your first page is looking a little bit ropey. This is what it should have looked like that one. You see the shape? Just not quite getting it. It was just a little bit off. There you go. Okay, what we're going to draw? Should we do some cardboard stuff? See if I can find some spare bits of cardboard. What have we got? Everyone's been drawing on these already. That's a nice bit. We use that bit. What should we draw? Should we do that? We're going to do something nice and simple. We'll do that octopus that I drew the other day. Unless anybody's got any ideas of what they want to draw, I'm open for suggestions. Oh, I've got a few more comments. Sorry, missed all you people. Slayer from Connecticut. Oh, thanks for joining. Diniz says, always intimidated by sketchbooks' first pages. Yeah, start in the middle, mate. That's always the best way. Start in the middle, or intentionally make the first page pretty poor, and then it don't matter. The way I explain it is that when I was doing my driving test, I really messed up on the first bit of my driving test, and because I'd messed up on that, the rest of it I didn't really care. So the shackles were off. I was kind of a bit looser with the rest, and I ended up passing my driving test. So I guess what I'm saying there is that it doesn't matter if you kind of like make a bad start in your sketchbook on purpose. Then it can only get better from there, and hopefully you kind of loosen up and just do what you want to do. But yeah, I shouldn't worry too much about it. Louise Wenlock, hi, Frock, Shropshire, UK. What was the name of the artist you mentioned again? Jetpacks and Roller Skates. Check them out. Jetpacks and Roller Skates, fantastic artist. You'll see a lot of them on Instagram. It's just one person. Slayers with the Sun, Derek, awesome. Do you know what? I love a bit of family drawing time. Love it when people get together as a family and kind of just do a little bit of drawing together. That's really cool. Nice one. And the octopus was a fun one. So what I liked about the octopus was we just used one fat pen. So I'm going to use this one today. PC7M. So we use that pink. Do you know what I'll do? I'll see if I can put a yellow octopus on the other side. See how that looks. We'll use what's this? A beige kind of colour. Yeah, we'll use a beige. Just making sure it's working. I always have a scrap bit of cardlet just to make sure everything's working. So I'll use that for the eye. What do I need? I need a black outline as well. Bought myself a brand new black pen, which I've instantly lost. So I'll just use an old one. Is this an old one? No, this is a new one. Excellent. So black pen. What the colours were there? For the octopus, I can't remember. Oh yeah, a different colour for these. So let's go for a brown to go on the yellow, and let's go for a raspberry. Raspberry to go on the pink. So yeah, if you're joining in, that's what we're going to go for. Let's go and put in. Go and grab the pink first. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm only going to keep this nice and simple. This won't take long to do at all. Oh, shake it first. So quick shake, quick test on the paper, and then let's go and put it in. Shall I put in? No, let's put in the eyeballs first. So to create a little bit more space in the middle here, I'm going to put the eyeballs over there and over there. If you're drawing and you're joining me and you're just using a black pen, I'm going to do all the black outlines later, but you might be able to get away with doing them now. But yeah, let's stick in a couple of eyeballs first. I love using brown cardboard because of what I was saying earlier. Just the Posca just like pops on the brown cardboard. But I also like it because it's pretty much free. So you can usually go to your local supermarket and they're chucking away cardboard every day. They have to pay somebody to come and collect cardboard from them every day. So you turn up with a bucket and just say, can I have a few clean pieces? You'll get away with that. So it's nice and cheap, looks good. One of the pitfalls is that sometimes it will peel, you know, like the fibres of the paper. It kind of comes away. So yeah, avoid those particular pieces of cardboard. They're a bit dodgy. And the only way you're going to find out about that is just by trying it out. You wish you had all the Posca colours. Jessica, there's 50-something Posca colours, isn't there? My top tip, if you're looking for what Posca colours to get, is try and get colours that work well together. So, for example, I'm using raspberry and pink. Those two colours work really well together. Let me show you. So, if you wanted to get 3 colours, go for like this, like a blue, sky blue, and light blue. They look amazing together. And the same with the greens. Look. Let me just show you some greens. There we go. So we're going for like English green, green, and light green. If you're drawing a character, you can then put darker areas and lighter areas in the character. It just gives it all a lot more shape. So rather than going for every colour, if you can only afford one colour, because they're quite expensive, if you can only afford one colour, then sorry, I got distracted by Katerina. If you can only afford one colour, then just go for a colour that kind of is going to work well with another colour. Let me hang on a second. Then, is it Katerina? Let me just show this safe zone. Ugh. Oh yeah. I see. So first of all, Katerina, because you're on watching on Instagram, you're not going to see everything. So for Instagram, you're only going to see this small bit. If you find me on YouTube, I'm broadcasting this on YouTube. I'm also broadcasting this on what's the other one? Facebook, and even Twitch. If you want to be on your own and watching this, so join me on there, and then you'll be able to see everything. But I'll try and keep it kind of like in there somewhere. Right, let's go and put this octopus in. So the first thing we'll do with the octopus, let's go and put a head in. So there's the head, and let's colour that bit in using this 7M. I should know that by now. So there's the head, and then we just put in a little extra line there just for a little bit of an eyelid. Yeah, you guys on Instagram, come over to YouTube or to Facebook or something like that if you want to see the whole thing. I will try and keep it in this safe zone in here, but it is a little bit more difficult. You're missing out on 66% of the footage. Right, down below, we'll put another little eyelid in there, but then what we'll do is we'll just go from there and we'll just put in, let's just put in a tentacle there. Let's do another one like that. Let's colour that bit in. Let's do another one. Let's just go in across like that. How's that looking? That's all right. That'll do. There you go. Let me move it across so you guys on Instagram can see the whole thing. Yeah, it's Instagram doesn't let me broadcast wide, so that's the issue with that. Okay, it's not a choice thing. I haven't chosen to. Stay of that pen. I haven't chosen to not show you. Always clean your pens, guys. Okay. Who else is in? Danny Fraser. Hi, Danny Fraser. Thanks for joining in. You're the legend. I'm not a legend. Dinners, yeah, get over to YouTube. Watch it on YouTube. You'll see a little bit more. And you'll see my face as well. So you'll be able to see when I'm making an absolute mess of the drawing. Let's go and do the other side. So there's that bit. There's the head. So that bit's just a little bit of kind of skin over the... we'll call it an eyelid. The skin. That's the skin over the eye. We'll call it an eyelid. Down here, let's do the bottom eyelid as well. Yeah, get on YouTube, guys. Hey, Zoe and the boys. Hello, boys. I've still got your artwork on my wall here. If it were, where are you watching from? You boys are on Facebook. You're on Facebook, so you can see everything. But yeah, just over that way. I can't move the camera. The camera's kind of stuck in position. But just over on that way, on that wall, is the artwork that one of your boys did for me. Still got it. Yeah, you get to see my face on YouTube. All right, let's go. So what I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to put some tentacles that are going to just kind of overlap, and there's no plan for this. Let's just see what happens. Okay, that'll do. So yeah, just a little bit of an overlap on there. There's no benefits to seeing my face, but the main benefit is that you'll see the whole of the canvas, because I am going to zoom in a little bit as I do the rest. So you're not going to see the whole of the cardboard if you're watching on Instagram. Noted for next time. Thanks, Danny. Tips for cleaning Posca pens. I just scribble on a bit of cardboard. Or I've washed my hands since this morning, but yeah, if my Posca is a bit dirty, then it's just rub it with your fingers. Rub it with your fingers, or like I've done on here, just scribble around. That was my first. You see that mark there? That there was my first mark with the Posca pen. So I had like some big black bits in there. So it's just a case of keep on scribbling, keep on pumping, keep on priming. That seems to be the only way I've found of cleaning your pen. Sasha, you're in on, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for joining. Sometimes I nearly said a do again. Sometimes I do Instagram lives where I just have it all vertical, so everything's kind of contained in there. But today, because I'm broadcasting on loads of different platforms, that's the reason why I'm landscape orientation, which YouTube, Instagram doesn't like. Sir Pantone, Sir Pantone, Senior Pantone, Senor Pantone from Spain. Senor, Senorita. Esa must be Senor, yeah. Thank you for joining from Spain. Right, let's go and put in some Can put in some outlines. This yellow is so wet. Look, this yellow is so wet. It's just taking a little bit of time to dry. That'll be right. Let's go and outline the pink bits then. So we're so top tip, when it comes to outlining your artwork, if you can see it just there, when it comes to outlining your artwork, go wonky or go home. So my thing is when I teach people how to draw, is I teach them how to draw wonky. I think wonky lines are easier to draw and they look much better as well. So rather than stressing yourself out by trying to get all your lines looking super smooth and super crisp, don't worry about that. Just kind of go wonky with your lines. Double line everything you do. And it's not about making it twice as thick. It's about making it twice as wonky. Cash Rock, hi Cash Rock, where are you watching from? Just a reminder, anybody on Instagram, this will be doing the Instagram algorithm no good at all. Everybody logging out and going somewhere else. But yeah, if you're watching on Instagram, you want to see the whole feed, then jump onto Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or even X. Oh, that's terrible. Let's put these lines in. For some reason, nothing's really drying either. So look at the smudges I'm getting. I'll get around that. The other thing as well is when you are drawing with your Posca pens, is it's always worth knowing that you're at different stages of the artwork. When you're at early stages of the artwork, everything's going to look a bit rubbish. So try not to judge your artwork on those early stages. Judge it a little bit later on. It might still look rubbish later on. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, this early on, it is always going to look rubbish. Bronx, New York. Nice. Thanks, Cash Rock. Glad you could join. Hi, Rachel. Go wonky and try not to dip your hand in it. Yeah, top tips. Wonky lines. And try not to smudge anything. Right, we're going to go around these tentacles now. So what I've got here is, like, because I did the yellow last, all the yellow tentacles are on top. But what I want to do is I want to bring the pink tentacles on top as well, so they're kind of underlapping, overlapping. So as I outline, I will kind of do that naturally. So here we go. Look, start outlining some of these. And again, nice and wonky. The other thing about wonky lines as well is being good at drawing wonky lines will make you good at drawing smooth lines, I think. And the reason I say that is because when you're drawing wonky lines, to make it wonky, you're going quite fast because you're going over that same line again. And so to go over that same line again and get it slightly wonky, you're going quite fast with it. Now, the best way of drawing smooth lines is to draw quite fast. You can draw smooth lines by drawing slow, but it's a little bit more difficult. So yeah, it's a nice way of... What am I doing here? Let's go like that. Yeah, a nice way of getting good at drawing smooth lines is by practicing those wonky lines. Going to be another live tomorrow as well if anybody's up for it. It'll be on all platforms. Probably not Instagram. But yeah, we'll go a little bit later. So tomorrow's live will be, what is it? It's 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. So tomorrow's live will be about 2.5 hours from now. So wherever you are watching from, whatever the time is in about 2.5 hours, that's when I'll be going live. One more final thing about wonky lines is that a lot of people get disappointed with their artwork because they're trying to make it all perfect. Now, I think if you're going after a perfectly wonky line, then that's a lot more achievable. And so you're kind of hitting your goals. You're rewarding your brain because your brain is kind of achieving what it's setting out to achieve, which is perfectly wonky lines, rather than not achieving those perfectly smooth lines. So yeah, I think wonky lines are the way to go. That other tentacle is right around the back, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Let's go to the other side and get that done as well. Oh yeah, I should also point out, look how fat these lines are. These big 3M fat lines in there at the moment. I'm not too bothered about them because we'll go over with the pink and we'll cut those out. Yeah, Jonah, the outline is the most satisfying part. That and the finishing touches. Here we go. Eyeball first. Concentrate. Yeah, the finishing touches part. So when I'm drawing, I split my drawings into 4 different stages. Anytime I'm drawing, 4 different stages. The first 2 stages are always meant to look a bit rubbish. The second 2 stages, that's where things are going to start to be start looking good. So stage 1 and 2, make a mess. Stage 3 and 4, tidy up. Is as easy as it gets for me. And so stage 1 is guidelines. So you might notice I didn't use a pencil for this. I just went straight in with a marker pen. So yeah, stage 1 is throwing on some guidelines. Stage 2 is throwing on the colour. That's what we've just finished doing, just chucking on the colour. Don't think about it too much, just get as much colour on as possible, fill in all the gaps. When it's all coloured in, then you can kind of make a call on what else needs to happen with your artwork. But don't try and make a call on, as soon as I've done that pink octopus, it was like, don't try and make a call on what I need to do with the rest of the picture until I've coloured in the yellow octopus, because things might change by that stage. So stage 2, chuck on all the colours that you've got. Stage 3 is where we're at now, which is just chucking on those outlines. And probably primary outlines. Let's describe them as primary outlines. So it's just the important outlines for the time being. You are going to put in some other outlines that are probably not quite so essential, but will look nice. But again, you're not going to know what outlines you need in there until you've finished all your outlining. So yeah, get all your outlining done. Let's bring this around to there. And then the final stage is that finishing touches, which we'll come to in a bit. We've got 20 minutes left before I finish off on here. We'll come to that finishing stages in a bit, and you'll see how everything just kind of comes together a little bit more. And that's the real fun bit, those finishing stages. Well, you have to trust the process. Yeah, Silenthax, spoken like a true pro. You have to trust the process. I learned that with acrylic painting. Yeah. It's just knowing, isn't it? It's knowing that it's going to look a bit rubbish when you first start off, and then the more you work at it, the more the portrait or whatever you're drawing kind of really comes out at you. YouTube is great for lives, Mika. I agree. But my issue is that I've got more followers on Instagram and Facebook than I have on YouTube. Where am I going with this one? This one's going to go behind. But I'm glad YouTube is hitting the spot for you. And yeah, whilst you're in YouTube, just have a little look. There's some old lives as well. Some of them are tutorials. Some of them are just me drawing and talking. And I should mention as well, I know I've been giving you loads of tips and tricks, but if you have got anything, if anybody's got any questions, then ask away. I might not know the answer, but I'm good at pretending. Who else is in? Adam, is there a Discord for the Corp Academy, or is the forum the main form of comms? There's a Discord for Corp Dogs, which is my NFT project, which is like a separate thing that I'm working on for the Corp Academy. But the place you're in at the moment, the app, the Corp Academy community on, I think, where is it, corpacademy.com. That is the main community space at the moment. There's only about, I think there's about 170 odd of you in there. So it's a fairly small community, fairly tight knit, which I really like. But yeah, that's the place to go. That's the place to share all your artwork. I did try a Corp Academy Discord, but it didn't really work out. I think most people that were community members that went to drawing weren't really into Discord, so it didn't kind of work out very well. Where are we going with this one? This one's going behind. Let's bring this one like that. Just trying to think about where these tentacles are all, how they're all overlapping each other. That's the yellow one. So the yellow one is going to go under there. It's going to pop out here. I know you can see the yellow on top of the pink, but like I said before, I'm going to get rid of that. So yeah, no, there is no official Discord. Best place for the community is on corpacademy.com. Anybody that's interested in learning to draw with me wants to join the community. It's the entry level, $7 a month, and that gets you access to all the drawing challenges, the community full of other creatives and artists of all different stages, all different levels, all different ages. And yeah, just $7. What am I doing with this one then? So this one's going to go like that. $7 a month. You can find out more about that on, just go to corpacademy.com, and there's stuff in there for that. Terrestrial, thank you for joining, mate. I hope you're enjoying it. Jump over to YouTube or Facebook if you want to see the whole video. You're only going to see the little tiny bit in the middle. Danny says, totally agree regarding line work. Can get used to lines always being wonky when you first start a piece and your hand settles. Stressing kills creativity. There'd be no mandalas and entangle without wonkies. Yeah, totally agree. I did have somebody who used to do my tutorials, probably still does, said to me that they suffered with PTSD, and when they first wanted, their hands would be shaking quite a lot. But after doing after starting on one of my tutorials, and it wasn't my tutorial that did it; it was the process of drawing that did it. But it would just kind of calm them down, calm their hand down. Everything got a little bit smoother. So yeah, there is loads of benefits, huge benefits to learning to draw. Okay, I'm just going to quickly put in some of these pink lines back to the front. I'm not going to use that pen because that's white still. Hey Gus Rabbit, thanks mate, glad you like it. Howdy, perfect timing. I caught the live on my break. Junior working. Unlucky mate. I used to have a real job, but nowadays I just do a bit of colouring in. It's crazy. My kids sometimes refer to me as being unemployed because I do this. I colour in for a living. You see how easy and quick it was just to put the tentacles in front and behind each other and stuff like that. This bit looks a little bit dodgy. Don't like that. I'll leave it. It'll work. Right, what am I going to do next? Let's just quickly go in and put in some little patterns and stuff, some little spots. So we are kind of moving over into the finishing touches area. How long we got? 15 minutes. Yeah, thank you, Junior. But really, all the super fun is on the plus level. All the cool kids are on the plus level. So there's three tiers to the Corp Academy. Entry level is essential. It's just $7 a month. For that, you'll get access to the secure community space. You'll get access to the app. You'll get access to the drawing challenges. You'll get access to weekly drawing tutorials. What else? Activity packs, all that kind of stuff. However, if you want to get a bit busier, then you want to get access to the Plus membership. Plus membership is the next level up. Join anytime. Next level up is $20 a month, but for that you get loads more drawing tutorials in there. So whereas with Essential you only get like 20 at the most, with Plus you're looking at 200 drawing tutorials in there. So it's worth kind of upgrading to that. And also, yeah, with Plus you get 15 new drawing tutorials every month. With Essential you just get 4. Premium is an option as well, but Premium doesn't open until March, so we'll speak about that then. Phantom, First person joining from X. Thanks for joining, Phantom. Hope you're doing well. There's a lot of research around creativity, well-being on these days. It's why I do art, and your drawing style works great for me. Thanks, Adam. I really appreciate that. One of the things I'm really keen to do when it comes to teaching people to draw is to show people how, number one, how easy it is to draw stuff like this. But to all my tutorials, you'll have noticed, are all less than an hour long. So from nothing to a finished piece of artwork, it takes less than an hour. And I think that's really important from a point of view of like, for one, rewarding yourself, or your brain rewarding you for like getting a job done and being satisfied, getting a bit of job satisfaction within a fairly short amount of time. And even if it doesn't go well, you've only wasted an hour kind of doing your drawing. So yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm going to try and draw and talk at the same time now. So I'm putting in some spots. If ever I can't think of what to draw, I'm just going to chuck in some spots on characters. So let's do that. Yeah, halfway in. And who else? Dream Job. Yeah, Gas Rabbit. I can't believe how lucky I am. I mean, don't get me wrong, I worked for like 20 odd years as a bean counter, like a data analyst for a business. So I've done my shift. Can you see this? Yeah. I've done my shift of a boring job. But yeah, I can't believe that, my job now is colouring in. I better still showing other people how easy it is to colour in. And yeah, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I didn't do it for so long because I didn't think I had anything I could teach people. And some people might argue that I still don't. But I enjoy what I do, and there's other people out there that enjoy it as well. So that's good enough for me. Look at that; it looks brilliant with all these little. Let's see if we can go overload this one. But yeah, at some stage I will give you a bit more of an insight on how I kind of started out as an artist. With 10 minutes to go, now's not the time. Mika, are you only on the? I'd say only. Are you on the? I didn't realise you were on the essential plan. What I really wanted to do was have a plan that pretty much anybody could join. The essential plan, $7 a month. It's like, one maybe two coffees from a coffee shop a month. I know not everybody's got that money, but I really wanted to make it so that anybody can join. That cost wasn't a barrier. So I have the essential plan. It is overloaded with lots of really cool stuff. For that reason. How are we looking with this? Let's bring some black lines back. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flick a few little lines inside. I don't know if I can. No, I can't zoom in any more than that. I'm just going to flick a few little lines in, just to give it a little bit more shape. Where I've gone over the black lines, I'll put those back in as well. Who's next? Yeah, so Mika, Jonah, can you share some of your references with us? Your creativity blows my mind. I don't know what you mean by references. I'm sorry. What I can share with you is one of the reasons why I find it fairly easy to come up with different drawings all the time is just from running the Co-op Academy. So every week we have a different theme. So like just before Christmas, our theme was bananas, and so we just did a whole kind of week's worth of workshops, 5 different tutorials on how to draw bananas, but obviously not realistic ones. One of them was like a banana split in half with meat showing on the inside of the banana. One was a banana that looked like Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. So that really helps. And also, the more you draw, the more you draw, the more you kind of, these ideas just come to you. Yeah, that looks all right. Let's put some pupils in. You know, and drawing the same thing over and over again, that also makes a big difference, because you just get better at that one thing. So like with this, I like the way these are entangled up, but I'd love to have this like spelling a word, or like in heart shape as it's coming up to Valentine's. That kind of stuff. So Gas Rabbit, you want to draw with more Poscas? You do mostly ink. To be fair, if you so, it's weird moving from ink to Posca is quite a big leap, and that's mainly because, not because the skill level is any different, but because the techniques you use are completely different. Like, you know, to get a smooth coat of paint with a Posca pen, you've got to press really gently, because you're going to get more paint left on the cardboard, if you know what I mean. Whereas with ink, you're kind of pressing a little bit harder to maybe get the pen nib a little bit wider. So there's loads of different bits. My favourite thing though is that, you know, with Posca you can just go over the top of stuff. It's a bit more difficult with ink. You're kind of stuck with whatever line you make. But yeah, give Posca a try. Follow some of my tutorials, see how you get on. Let me know, mate. The Plus program, because I'm loving it so much. Small cost for my ongoing development and happiness. Do you know what? Yeah, Plus plan, $20 a month. But I think it gives you a lot of content, but not, and like you say, not just being able to do the tutorials, but just being part of a community, all kind of think the same way as you, like-minded people. Just surrounding yourself with good, like-minded people. It's just a really nice place to be. But also that kind of like that feel-good factor of just being able to draw. So yeah, thank you, mate. I'm just putting in some black spots now. We're going to do a little bit of cutting in. We'll put in a power line. And then we'll be pretty much done. What time is it? 5 minutes left. So a few little black spots. Where was I going to go? Oh, yeah. Ugh. Let's cut in. Then let's add, a little bit of cutting in. And then some suckers. Forgot about that. Zombie Caters. Thank you, mate. Love your work. Join me on YouTube if you want to see the full video. Mika's trying it out, but it seems like I really like this community, so I'd like to change to the Plus. Any of you guys that are on Essential that upgrade to Plus, make sure you message me so I can give you a refund on your Essential membership as well. It doesn't happen automatically, but I'm more than happy to process that for anybody that upgrades. Jonah, other artists you like, movies, or any other thing that inspires you? Obviously, Studio Ghibli inspires me a lot. I'm currently watching a cartoon called Ronya, which I believe is by a Swedish author, but it's like a Japanese kind of anime style animation. I don't think it's done by Ghibli, but Ghibli are involved in it. But yeah, that kind of stuff, I really like that. Justin Roiland and what do you call it? Rick and Morty, Solar Opposites, was that the other one? Really like that kind of style artwork as well, and so I do kind of borrow from them quite a lot. But favourite artists are people like, so my ultimate favourite artist is a guy called Jim Bradshaw, who I absolutely love. Go and find Jim Bradshaw on Instagram. Like his last 5 posts, let him know that I sent you. But his stuff is just brilliant, just blows me away. I love what he does. Banana Rick, yeah, Banana Rick. So you had the colour first and the black outline. Yeah, anytime you're working with Posca, I tend to do a guideline with the colours that I'm using, then chuck on all the colour and then put the black outline on. Just because you want that black outline to really stand out at the top. That's my technique anyway. Not many people do that. Would they not? Man, I'm being too kind here. So here we go. Look, I'm just gonna put some suckers on. And so when I was, we had, what was this? I think this was from Weirduary. So in the Corp Academy community, we had a thing called Weirduary, which was a drawing prompt list. But because I love drawing weird things, Tash, who I think is in the audience somewhere, came up with this idea of let's do something called Weirduary, and let's just get people drawing loads of weird stuff. And I was like, yeah, I am down for that. So yeah, we had a bunch of prompts, all different things. One of the prompts was just add a tentacle, and I love the idea of adding a tentacle, but I thought it's a bit complicated to draw. Let's switch. Look, watch this. I'm going to switch these around to the other side now. So I'm coming out there. Probably shouldn't have switched that around like that. Never mind. Where was I? Yeah, I was talking about Weirduary. And yeah, one of the Weirduary prompts was just add a tentacle. And so yeah, I found this really cool way of just drawing the suckers on a tentacle, which I like. I think they look great, but without having to do too much work on it. Don't think it's going to need a power line. I think this will be fine. Thanks. No worries, Gas Rabbit. Love to participate. Yeah, Weirduary. So if I mean, so Gas Rabbit, if you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list, because last week I sent out, last week I sent out the actual prompt list. I mean, obviously join the community. That's the best way to take part. What we're doing next month, we're doing love lines next month. So it's all about kind of drawing things that you love. So it's going to be an interesting one, this one. Where else do we need tentacles? Let's put some in there. Not tentacles, suckers. Yeah, love lines. So we're trying something a bit different. Although we've got love lines coming up next, I'm specifically looking forward to March. We're doing Mashup March. Mashup March is all going to be about taking two completely weird different characters, mashing them up into a new character. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it came from I did something called Shanana, which was like a shark coming out of a banana. Again, it's a concept that's been done before, but I did my version of it and really liked it. And so Tash came up with this idea of doing Mashup March. So we've got that coming soon as well. Weirduary has been good. At some stage, what I'm going to do is maybe on one of the lives is I'll go through all the entries for Weirduary, show everybody what the community's been drawing. This is an oddly satisfying thing to do. I'm not going to use a thin pen for that. Let's grab a fat pen. Thanks for joining, Junior. Take care, mate. Always nice when somebody drops out of the live but has the courtesy to say goodbye. I kind of like that. So many people kind of just come in, see what's going on, leave, which is cool. You can do that if you want, but yeah, I just think that's lovely that somebody says, thank you very much, I'm off now. I'm going to go back to work. So let's put on a power line on this and then let's call it a day. Yeah, because it's been 1 hour. Now, if ever you're doing some drawing and you think, especially on cardboard, and you think it doesn't look quite finished, then my main tip is put a power line on it. 9 times out of 10, I believe a power line is what your artwork is crying out for. Might have been a mistake on this because we've got so many tentacles and things kind of whirling around. The power line might be a little bit overkill. But for me, it's just one of those things. It just makes your artwork look a lot more finished. And a power line is just a white line going all the way around the outside of your character. It separates the foreground from the background. Cheers, Slayer. And I've seen power lines used really effectively. There's one guy on Instagram, and he kind of, as he's colouring in, he's definitely colouring in way outside the lines, colouring in everywhere. All looks really kind of messy. But then what he does is he does this power line around it, and it just tidies the whole thing up. So all the colour that's on the inside of the object that he's drawing looks like it's meant to be there. All the colour that's on the outside then just starts looking like a background. So it's a really neat little trick. And again, this is probably something that I would never have thought I need to teach that. And there's going to be loads of people out there that draw that will be like, no, you don't need to teach that. Everybody knows that. But there are people out there that don't know that or haven't tried it. So it's I think it's worth talking about. Oh, dodgy line, that one. And excuse yourself if you have a little dodgy line every now and then. What you'll notice is that as you're drawing, you will get some dodgy lines. But as long as most of your lines are okay, then nobody will really notice those few little dodgy lines. You'll notice it a lot more. When you're looking at your artwork, you see all the places you went wrong. When somebody else is looking at your artwork, they see all the places that you went right. Oh, why did I decide to do a power line on this? Going in and out of every single sucker may have been a mistake. The other thing as well is when I'm doing my drawing tutorials, I normally keep my cardboard or my artwork just flat like that. Don't ever move it. Keep it completely flat like that, and comes out quite nice in the reel. And I'm not bothering to do that today, because when I time lapse it, it looks like I'm spinning it around all over the place. Who else? Slayer, Ella, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Steffi, love this. Power line is great. Yeah, it's okay. Don't look too close. Usually I'll draw a power line, then I'd go back over with a really thin black pen just to get all those little sharp bits inside a power line. But I don't worry about that today. That's looking alright. Let's put some little bubbles in. A little bit of background fodder in there. What else do we need? Just going to tidy up a couple of little black lines. Who was the artist you said to follow on Insta? Steffi. It was Jim Bradshaw. Hang on, I'll see if I can dig out some of his work. Jim. He's my first Jim. There he is. Jim Bradshaw. And yeah, I love this kind of style of drawing. Look. Bit of pencil, bit of pen, bit of colour. Really, really nice stuff. Look at that. Just loads going on. Look at that moon thing at the top. Is that a moon or a banana? I can't tell. But either way, yeah, Jim Bradshaw. What's it doing? Tidying it with this. I was going to flick out a few little hairs. That's looking right. Danielle, I had no idea what a power line was until now. I'm living it. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you don't know, do you? You know, I think you can be like completely competent in other areas of drawing. It's just like little nuggets that you don't know. I only found out about it, or I actually named it. I used to do it, but I never named it. I never really knew what I was doing with it or how important it was until an artist called told me about it. I think it was that came and did a workshop for me, an online workshop. showing people how to draw. And then right at the end, he said, right, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a power line all the way around it. And what he did was a black power, I think he did a black power line on a black drawing. So all he did was make the line thicker. But yeah, we kind of use it. You can use it as a white one, a white power line as well. And it just works out really nicely. What else is going on there? Should we just leave it like that, I think? I might just leave it like that. Let me just wrap up with a few more questions before we go. Beardo, would you only use a power line if you're drawing on something already coloured, or would you do it in a different way when drawing with a white background, like using a colour for the power line? Generally, I don't, but I have seen people do it and it looks really good. Hattie Stewart, look at Hattie Stewart's artwork. They sometimes use like really colourful power lines and maybe do 2 or 3 power lines all going around with different colours. That looks really nice. What else was I going to say? And then what I was just saying about so it doesn't need to be like this. It could be a black and white drawing that you're doing, and you're just making the black line a little bit thicker. I don't actually think I might have one in here. Now there we go. Look at Hoghead. So with Hoghead, you can see how the line around the outside edge is just loads thicker. So yeah, you can kind of use it with that. So you're using it in different ways. So it's just a thick black outline rather than a colour outline. And like I said before, for me, what it does is it tricks whoever's looking at your artwork. It shows them what is the foreground and what is the background of your artwork. It just makes it a little bit easier to look at. I don't know whether that's a real thing or not. I might just be making that up, but that's what I think is what makes it work. Of course, I'm putting in some little flies on mine. Steffi Louise, thank you very much. Jim Bradford, does he illustrate books? Looks familiar. I think he does books, magazines, things like that. Yeah, definitely. Art by River, hello mate, I hope you're doing well. Art by River, you're only watching on Instagram, so you're only going to see this little tiny bit in the middle of the screen. If you want to see my face, it's over there, but you'll have to watch on YouTube or Facebook or something like that. I'm just about to go, so maybe get ready for next time. Tomorrow I'll be doing another live in about 2 hours from now. Tomorrow, if you know what I mean. So what's that? 26 hours from now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Ketchup, John Mustard. Poscas are immense fun, aren't they, mate? The main reason I like Posca is because they are quite liberating. Because I think once you start drawing, if you know that any mistakes that you make in the future can easily be covered up, which Poscas do, then you just start. You kind of start drawing with no fear because you know that a mistake's not going to hold you back. If you're drawing with alcohol markers or with ink, then it's a little bit more difficult to kind of cover over mistakes. Like that. So yeah, that's why I love Poscas, and you can see that from like some of the Posca drawings I've done before of how I've just done big things, like you can put a great big tongue hanging out of your character to cover over any mistakes that you might have made on the chin. What about a half or one-sided power line, like shadowing? Not sure what you mean. There's only one way to find out, and that's by actually doing it and see what it looks like. What I sometimes do with my students is when I've got a drawing, if I finish the drawing, what I'll do is I'll do half of the drawing with a power line on and the other half without a power line, just so I can cover that half and say, this is what it will look like. You decide whether it looks any good, and then you decide whether you want to put a power line on it. This is what a non-power line side looks like. And it just helps them make the choice, so I can make the mistakes for them. But definitely line weight might be what you're talking about, and I use that a lot. So the whole kind of wonky line stuff I was talking about earlier, use that loads. So anytime you've got like a line underneath where it's going to be a shadow, you can afford to go quite thick and fat with your lines there. Anytime where there's a light, you can afford to go quite thin with your lines. So I do that quite a lot. Louise Lads, hi mate, thank you for joining. Mick, thanks Cobb for again a lovely evening. Change to the community now, busy on the last challenge of Weird Jury. Good luck with it, mate. Thank you very much for joining us on YouTube. What is the last challenge for it? Excuse me while I just quickly check what's going on in Weird Jury. Just a reminder, anybody that does want to join the Corp Academy community, it's just $7 a month if you want to get in. try it out. What I'll do is, okay, for the next couple of hours, I'll put on a free trial. So if you're interested and you want a free trial, just want to have a look around, have a little nosy, but you don't want to actually pay anything yet, then hang on a second. I'll give you I'll turn on the free trial for the next couple of hours. Okay. Weirduary's last day to complete an odd number character. So the odd number character was all about having a character with an odd number of features. And so I did this one, which was a character with 2 noses, 3 eyes, 2 mouths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ears, 2 necks, 3 eyebrows, you know, that kind of thing. So it's all about having a character with an odd number of features. There you go. That's the kind of stuff that, and that is a drawing tutorial as well. So 1 hour drawing tutorial, show you step by step how easy it is to draw that within an hour, probably about 40 minutes or so. For that one. Right, let's go and turn on this freebie for you. Where is it? How do I get to it? It's not in products, it's in just give me a minute. So if you go to corpacademy.com, I'll get there in a minute. If you go to corpacademy.com, you can go to the store there. In the store, there's the Corp Academy Essential membership. So this is entry level. So if you decide that you actually want to stay, it's only going to cost you $7. $7 US. So what's that? That's the cost of your oat milk latte and a little cake. And that keeps you in for another month. And I'm now about to turn on the free trial. Trial period. How long do you want for your free trial? Let's do 14 days. 2-week free trial. If I click on save, it'll be there. Anybody who's joining the Corp Academy under the Essential membership today, in the next couple of hours, you're going to get a 2-week free trial. So yeah, get in there. I'm convinced that once you give it 2 weeks, you'll love it and that you'll want to stay. If not, you've lost nothing. Just cancel before any payment comes out. But yeah, go and give it a go. Bedtime for Julish. Thanks for joining in. See you later, Julish. Really appreciate that. Zunbit. Thank you, mate, for joining. Glad you enjoyed it. Mika's answering my question about what is the last Weirduary prompt. And Lobsnetic, thanks for joining. Glad you enjoyed our drawing today. Just a reminder that if you're on Instagram, if you're on Instagram and you want to watch the replay of how I've just drawn this, then head over to watch the replay on YouTube or Facebook or something like that, because you'll get the full wide angle video. Right, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks very much for joining in, everybody. Hopefully I'll catch you the same in a couple of hours from now tomorrow. Okay, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to do a late one, so hopefully that'll be a different time, a more suitable time for some of you. But yeah, thanks everyone. See you all soon. Bye bye. Thank you.